What's up, my friends? I am standing in my brother's new hometown of Kofu, and I wanted to introduce you guys to my brother Jacob. You guys have been hearing his music in almost every one of our videos, so today we're on our way to the Osaka Fishing Show. We wanted to stop by, see some family, and we're just gonna hang out. I'm gonna introduce you to our musical master, director, I don't know. He's a famous YouTuber too. So, you know, we're just gonna, I don't know, we're gonna hang out, we're gonna talk some fishing, we're gonna go around to a couple of Japanese tackle stores, have some lunch, and just bring you guys along on a day with the Koller brothers. Are you ready for this?
I like the intro, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Musical director, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, you're very, you are a
I feel
VIP.
official.
Yeah, you're very important.
When are you gonna get me on the payroll, dude?
You know what? I'll probably give you a hat next time.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
I work for hats.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So if you guys want to come along, let's go.
Let's go.
And then you can drop it down and you can wind it in. So you drop it down and it tells you how deep it is, and you can just lock it so it stays at that depth, and you get a bite and you just wind it. I really like throwing like bait finesse stuff. I really like the 3 pound. I'm thinking like when you do the Mexico thing, like there's so many like these kind of things. Okay. Did I send you any spinning?
You sent me one.
But again, you're just trying to get some kind of reaction out of them, right?
Yeah.
So. Oh, they have a lot of Smith stuff here.
Yeah.
Are super, like, so light wire. So for like when you're catching those little things, they're probably great, but you got to be careful. This one has more transparent wings and a scary head.
Right.
You're really trying to dissect this, Ben.
I'm gonna go for this guy, dude.
So these are bug repellents,
I need to get one.
even though they look like lures, Jeff. Oh, you're going for this
I'm
one.
gonna go for this one.
The big boy.
Looks fancy. It looks like handmade. This
Yeah.
one looks like factory made.
Yeah,
Right?
this is a nice one.
It's gonna keep the bugs out, man.
Yeah.
Dude, I tell you, like, I parked my car, and as soon as you open up the door, he's just like,
So you're just swarming.
go in your car. Once they get in your car, it's just like, well, I'm not even sure. Some of these, what I missed. Yeah, they both suck. So it's gonna work.
So we just wrapped up a quick little sesh in casting. So this is one of the, you say this is the biggest chain store? Probably this or Joshua.
This or Joshua.
Yeah. So there's 2 like really big chain stores, and depending on where you are in Japan, they might be more saltwater focused, more trout focused. This one is kind of an interesting blend.
It's like the perfect blend of
It's like a
trout,
third bass, third
and
trout.
saltwater.
Yeah. So, you know, Jake, we grew up fishing both trout and bass. Where you are here, it's kind of both. You're in the middle of it again.
Yeah.
But you do more trout than bass.
Yeah, lately I've been into fishing for the native trout. Amago, Iwana, and sometimes Yamame.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, just lately, river fishing has been my thing. Like getting down the mountains, like hiking deep out there.
Yeah.
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 It's fun, man.
But literally right down the hill from his house is a bass lake.
Yeah.
And
I can walk to it.
Yeah. And one of the most famous bass lakes in all of Japan, Kawaguchi, is about an hour.
Yeah, hour drive.
So today we kind of just poked around. We grabbed some things that we thought might be good. So show
right,
off
man.
what you got.
There it is. That's what I've been waiting for. Oh, I put it up right.
You
now.
actually bought that thing.
I bought this thing, dude, and it's not a lure.
It's not a lure.
Yeah, it took me a minute to figure it out. I was looking at, what the hell is this? A bobber, a lure, or what? But no, this is a bug repellent. Because I get killed by bees and wasps in the middle of the summer. And supposedly this is gonna work.
So what's gonna
Yeah.
happen? They're just gonna see it. They're gonna see some big ass bug on your head, and
Yeah.
they're gonna freak out and fly to the next guy.
That's what I'm hoping, man. They're gonna fly to you. You didn't get one.
Yeah.
no.
I'm gonna roll the dice. Jeff. Yeah.
You're gonna be crying in
Yeah.
July, man.
Excellent buy.
Yeah, excellent
That's great. Excellent buy.
That's all I needed.
Yeah. So I basically just grabbed some 110s in some colors that are really hard to get. I'm just gonna bring them back to Griff and Ethan and Julius and the guys at the shop. So that was my collection. You also got some cool bluegill baits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
check it out. Got this thing.
So some Imakatsu Java gills.
I'm gonna try it out at my lake. It's called. We'll
Yeah.
see if it
I'm gonna
will
blip
eat
that
it.
out.
Okay, you don't have to anybody
Yeah.
know.
It's called Beep Lake.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to keep it low key in case Jeff and Jake can actually crack the code.
Yeah.
Yeah. But bluegill are the main forage, right?
Yeah, there's tons of bluegill in there.
So this is a cool something new you haven't thrown.
Yeah, I never thrown
Okay.
that one before.
Okay.
And we got this little guy. There's also sort of a carp species called a harabuna. And that's what actually most of the people in that lake go fishing for. They got all their fancy gear to catch the harabuna.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna see if I can catch a bass.
Yeah, maybe a Harabuna
Yeah.
profile color thing. So yeah, I think the swim bait idea is a good idea. So
It's my project for the year. Figure
Yeah.
out this lake.
there you go. There you go. So we're gonna go down the road and show you guys a Joshua, the other big chain, and see what kind of trouble we can get in there. So yeah, let's
Go
keep
spend
going.
some more money,
Let's go. By the way, what did you get?
I got some rare items. One, well, actually, both of them you can't bring in the shop for some reason.
No, because I suck, obviously. Yeah.
Apparently.
But
Goes
you
without
found
saying.
a custom color of jointed claw that you've literally
The
been looking
only
for.
jointed claw that I throw.
Yeah. So I think I got 2 one time when they did a special
Yeah.
run.
Yeah, and I bought both of
I've
them.
never been able to find them again, and you bought both of them, and that's been your go-to
Yeah.
color. And then we randomly found one on a
Just
shelf.
one last one.
Yeah, in the middle of Kofu.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Wild.
Yeah. So, all right, let's keep going.
Because these are the only, these are the only 2 fishing stores in like this whole valley.
And they're both
They're
literally
within a 1 kilo of each other.
couple blocks away.
Yeah.
The last time I was there, it was like 90% sold out. All right, guys, so we are going to take a tour of the other big chain here in Tokyo. This is the Joshua. We're going to go poke around, see if there's any other can't live without items in here, and just have a good time seeing what's around. So come along. There. For waiters and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Here, everywhere.
Sure.
Japanese tournament bass fisherman is sponsored by
Oh.
but they don't.
You never seen that one?
The cheap things are really make a lot of like really crazy things.
Like that, cicada.
Yeah. A lot of really weird like this kind of stuff. So one of the funny things is we do mostly Japanese tackle back home, right? And it's always like, oh, I wish I could go to Japan and buy it cheaper than I get in the US. And most of the time it's about the same price. But what's funny is when you come over here and you find American baits, they're crazy. So, I mean, here you go, $26 for 10XD, 8XD, or an 8XD, not even a 10XD,
not even a
$26 for an 8XD. But, some like Zoom, Strike King, pretty popular here.
Yeah.
So, kind of funny to see it the
crazy.
reverse way. Do you want a $26 8XD, Jeff?
I'm good. I've
Okay.
got them at home.
Okay, all right. This is much more calming than the other place.
Right.
All the jingles, and it was just
One
I'm
song
waiting-
at a
I'm
time.
waiting for
Yeah.
the jingles.
right. No, this is just nice and correct.
Yeah.
Oof. Oh, that's filthy. Okay, so here in Japan, especially some of the really precious lakes like Kawaguchi and some of the Fujigoko lakes, there's a lot of places that won't allow you to fish soft plastics. So like, literally right here to my left is like, Gary Yamamoto. You can buy that bag,
Thanks,
Jeff.
pal. Yeah.
So like Yamamoto, OSP, DEP, some of your traditional soft plastic offerings, they won't allow you to fish because they're trying to keep the lake really clean and pure, right? So you have to use pork or something that's made out of something natural. So if you're going to drop shot, if you're going to free rig, you have to use like pork stuff. So there's a lot of companies that build baits that are just pork lures, and they'll be in different shapes. They could be worms, they could be craws, they could be different things, but they're all made out of a natural pork. That way, if you lose it, it's not contaminating the lake. So there you go, Jeff. You should be the new pork guy. Forget your bugs. You're the pork fisherman now.
Okay.
Biodegradable.
Yeah,
Biodegradable.
you're taking care of the environment.
You're welcome.
I like this.
Yes.
I like this new Jeff.
Perfect.
Yeah. Cheers, man.
Cheers, man.
So
Welcome to Kofu.
arigatou gozaimasu. So this is Jake's neighbor at his house. Is this the only brewery?
It's the only brewery in my village.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
It's actually the only shop in my village.
the only store.
You can't
in your
get
village.
anything but craft beer.
Okay.
What
perfect.
else you
Well,
need?
That's why that would be heaven for me, Jeff. So Orion, don't look, but this is Obina Brewery.
Yeah.
So delicious,
taste?
nice and smooth.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
So why is fishing so fascinating to us? Why has this been so? Not many people that follow our channel really know much about my backstory, right? Or your backstory, but we basically grew up fishing and playing music, right?
Yeah.
And for our entire lives, this has been our life, fishing and music. So we were both pretty heavily trained musicians. When we got to be adults, you kind of followed the music path, and I followed the fishing path.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I would say my second love is music. Would you say your second love is fishing?
Yeah, I'd almost go as far as to say my first love is fishing.
Okay.
I just couldn't figure out how to make money at it.
Oh yeah, I haven't figured this out either. So you were the smart one. You went. It actually made some money.
Yeah, well,
yeah,
I don't know.
I just buy lures and drink beer by myself. So
It's not too bad. Man. Not too bad. Yeah. Well, if you ask me tomorrow, you can either go fishing or you can practice the piano.
Yeah.
I would not hesitate on being like, we're going fishing tomorrow, man.
right.
Yeah. No, I love playing the piano, but yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love getting out there fishing.
So what do you think? What is it about it that has had us so captivated for our whole lives? What do you
Yeah.
think?
I don't know what it is, but there's just something mysterious about what's under the water. And like, fish live in a different world than we do.
Yeah.
Like, they live under the water, we can't see them. But when we can finally like get them to come up and catch, I know there's something so exciting. It's like catching an alien or something.
Yeah.
Like bringing something out of the water and like kind of getting in touch with what's happening in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, to me it's really exciting. And the other thing I think is similar to music and fishing is that experimentation is so important. You have to like keep trying new things.
Well, this is spoken like a jazz musician,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Classical musicians, they're boring. They're fly fishermen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do
But-
the same way. It's all about technique and this and that.
They've done the same thing for 1,000 years. But real fishermen, Jeff included, experimentation is so important.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you think there's a lot of parallels between music and fishing?
Yeah, for me there is, because the process is the same. Like every time I write a new piece of music or arrange a new song, I start from zero, and I'm like, of course I use what my experience in the past, helps me create it. But I'm starting from zero, and I create the arrangement step by step, go one piece at a time, add on top of it. When I go fishing, every day is different. The weather's different. The water temperature is different. Every piece is different.
Yeah.
And you have to kind of start from zero again.
Right.
You can use the experience from the past
Right.
to help you get started.
Yep.
But you're always starting from zero every time.
Yeah.
And you kind of figure it out as you go. And like the speed might be the difference. The color might be the difference. The size, whatever. There's so many factors that can go into it.
Yeah.
The location, obviously.
So many parallel variables.
Yeah.
I say it all the time, like a lot of people that are just getting into fishing they want all the answers, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's just human nature. We want to know, like, just tell me how to catch the damn fish, right?
Right.
So many times it's like, well, do I choose this one or this one, or how do I start? And really, you just have to pick something. Like, you have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And in fishing, your starting point is usually just your experience. You're taking everything that has come before this moment and you're making a decision based on that.
Yeah.
And the longer you've done it, maybe the more advanced and correct, if there can be a correct, the decision making is.
Yeah.
And then the more novice you are at it, maybe you make the wrong decision a lot. But the only way you ever really learn is to put the time in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Is it the same in music? So when you're sitting down and you're writing a song, you're doing an arrangement of a song, you just start somewhere?
Yeah, I just sit down at the piano and start playing well, first I learn the song, right? I learn the melody, if I'm arranging. And then I just start sitting down and playing, trying stuff. I try this rhythm, I try this chord, I try this vibe, I try this thing.
Oh.
And until I find the right combination of elements that fits and it works, right? So fishing is very similar to that because you're finding the right combination of things. It's usually not just one thing. You got to get the lure, right? You got to get the color, you got to get the speed, the depth. All these different things come together, and you finally figure out the pattern that's working. And music, that's the same thing. The rhythm, the chords, the vibe, the whole energy of the song, and it fits with that song. If I change one thing, it's totally different. It might not work.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you've been a professional musician pretty much your whole life. I mean, we were both gigging when we were in high school.
Yeah,
right?
We played in the same band.
Right.
Mojave Outlaws.
That's right. Look it up, Jeff, on Spotify now.
No, we're not.
Jeff looks so unimpressed.
We're not on Spotify.
That's actually not at all.
We don't have anything.
There might be an obscure recording somewhere.
Yeah.
But how do you keep... One of the things that's always fascinating for me with any artist, right? And people refer to fishing as different things. They refer to it as a sport. I think of fishing the way we fish. I think of this as much more of an art form than a sport, right? Because I feel like with art, it's something that's ingrained in you. Like you're born with this, and if you don't do it, if you don't allow yourself that outlet and that expression, you become miserable, right?
Yeah.
So whether it's painting or dancing or music or fishing, I find that they're all just it's my art form, it's your art form, right? But I find with every artist that burnout is always a challenge, right? And staying, I don't know, inspired, I guess. How do you keep yourself from burning out? I mean, you've been doing this your whole life. What tactics or tips?
I'm talking about in music. How do I keep it burning out?
In music, yeah. How do you? Because I think everything's kind of parallel.
Yeah.
If there's some secrets to staying inspired and not burning out in music, I think the same thing would happen in fishing.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Well, you have to keep it fresh. You have to do new things. Yeah, you can't just keep doing the same thing over and over. And if I do, I get bored. Yeah. I mean, that might just be my personality, but I have to try new arrangements, new arrangement ideas, new compositions. I have to get inspired by other things. And for me, actually, going fishing is a big thing from not getting burnt out of music. I have the other outlet.
Yeah.
I might practice the piano for 6 days, but I get out there one day of fishing.
Yeah.
And that kind of resets me. It's like I can go back to the music with a clear mind, a clear head.
Yeah.
So you have to have like that other outlet, so the parallel outlet that can reset your brain. Well, that for me that makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
I went a long time without fishing, just living in Tokyo. Too hard to get out and go fishing, so maybe I'd only go a couple times a year.
Yeah.
And there was something really lacking on my life. So once I got into it a couple years ago, actually Corona got me back into fishing because I had all of a sudden I had tons of free time.
Yeah.
And it's
nice.
Like a very safe activity to go do
Sure.
at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that got me back into it, and that reset is huge for me.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think in fishing, a lot of times the parallel art can even be a different species. Right?
Yeah.
So like
Yeah,
Jeff
yeah,
and I
yeah.
talk about this all the time, that a lot of times you find a bass fishing lane and you go down this bass fishing lane, but a lot of times you fish the same bodies of water with the same technique, and it's hard to continue to be creative. Like you get stuck in these ruts. But sometimes going fishing for trout or saltwater, right? It forces you to do something totally different that you're not used to doing, and can re-inspire the creativity all over again.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's so cool about this area that you're in, is that it's got this really cool trout vibe, it's got this really cool bass vibe, and then a couple hours down you've got this really cool saltwater vibe. There's all kinds of fishing parallels that you could do to draw inspiration from.
Yeah.
Shore fishing, boat fishing, ocean, right?
Yeah.
So, I always think it's important for people to just diversify their knowledge of art. And if it's all going to be fishing, like it's the only thing they're going to do, I think trout fishing makes you a better bass fisherman, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, you just talk about finesse and like soft lines and perfect casting and stuff. You get in the river,
Yeah.
right? You
Yeah.
got to cast it in the right spot, like by centimeters. And
Right.
If you're off, the fish is gone. So.
And I think too, like, fishing is still kind of caveman. Right? Like it's still kind of man versus beast, or like you're reaching into this alien world like you talked about. And I don't think it matters what the species is, you're constantly working on your own internal intuition. Right?
Yeah.
Like you're finding your way, like the universe is guiding you, and the more you just are at one with the surroundings, the more you can make those decisions of, I got this gut feeling that over there is going to be the deal, right? And do you find, like I find in fishing a lot, that sometimes those gut decisions, like maybe you're going out and you're throwing a jerkbait and it's just not happening, and everybody in the lake is dying by throwing a jerkbait. But the best fisherman on the lake that day is going to have a gut intuition, like, you know what? My gut's telling me that I should go throw a swimbait, or I should do this, it's different. Do you find that same thing in music?
Yeah.
Is there a parallel to there where you just kind of align with the universe and it just kind of takes you wherever it takes you?
Yeah. I mean, in the jazz world, there is like the trendy thing to do, which is like, if I talk in musical terms, it might be over your head, but to do this certain rhythm or to do this thing, this formula is the cool thing to do. So it's easy to fall into the trap of like just going with everybody else and be like, okay, just do that formula, everybody else is doing that. That's the cool thing, do that. But you end up like sounding like everybody else, and it doesn't, I don't know. Like, so you can get in that trap of like just trying to fit in.
Yeah.
And I see in the fishing world, like there's these trends that come out, like you got to do it like this. This is the cool thing, and like, that thing you did 10 years ago is not cool anymore, or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But you can't be cool. You shouldn't focus on trying to be cool or fit in. You just
Right.
do you.
Right.
Like you have to rely on your gut. Like that's the key to fishing. Is like developing your intuition to catch the fish. And the same with music. Like you don't want to sound like anybody else in music.
Right.
Like, what's the point? You want to sound like yourself. You want to like create your own thing.
How many piano players do you think live in Japan?
Oh man. I mean, like professional piano players, or just like
piano
people,
players.
hobby
General.
piano players?
Yeah, like from a decent level to professional.
Okay, like I don't know, millions.
A million.
Yeah.
So to stand out from that million, you have to have something that's uniquely you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's no different in fishing. You know, on any given day you go to the lake, there's 100 to 1,000 people depending on the lake. I mean, if you go to Biwa, there's thousands. If you go to Lake Fork many times of the year, there's thousands, right? It's great to learn certain techniques and to get the foundations, but at some point you have to do something that's different than what everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
To be your own fisherman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to have your own gut instincts.
Yeah.
And of course, like if you do the same thing that everybody else is doing and they're not catching it, you're not going to catch any fish that day.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have to. I don't know. It comes back to experimentation.
For sure.
And like, if you find a way to catch them, somebody else might find a different way to catch those same fish. Right.
Right.
There's not like there's one way to catch the fish.
Never.
Right?
Never. When you go through our store on any given day, everything in the store could be the right thing to throw.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Jeff is going to catch him on a glide bait. I'm going to catch him on, I don't know, a top water, and you might catch him on a little finesse one.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So it could be the same fish, just that's how you do it, it's how I do it, it's how Jeff does it. It's really exciting to try all these different ways of doing it, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is fun having conversations over feasts.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
looks amazing.
Yeah.
Falafel.
So this is your friend's place.
Yeah.
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 So I know here we are in the middle of Japan and we're eating Mediterranean cuisine.
Yeah.
But
You never wish you could get.
Hey.
People think you can only get Japanese food out here, but there's a lot of great international food
Yeah,
out here.
yeah.
Amazing Indian curry.
oh yeah, so some of the best Indian food I ever had is in
Yeah.
Japan. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've lived out here a long time. What is it about Japan that drew you out here? What keeps you here?
Yeah. Well, there's a few things that keep me out here, but one thing is there's a lot of people that like piano,
Yeah.
so it's a good place to be a piano player.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of people interested. A lot of, like I said, there's like 1 million people that probably play the piano well, but there's probably 30 million people that have played the piano when they were a kid or at some point in their life. So there's an affinity for the piano. Other thing that's great about Japan is it's extremely safe. I have 2 kids. I don't have to worry about them like getting into violence or going down the wrong neighborhood. There's no bad. I've never had an experience where I felt like I was in the wrong neighborhood.
I feel like you could get lost anywhere here and you're just fine.
Yeah.
You get off on the wrong train, the wrong corner, and you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally safe. And it's also just like it's such a different culture
Yeah.
that it's like stimulating all the time. Yeah, especially the first few years I was here, it's just like I didn't speak the language very well, and like I didn't know the culture very well, and
Yeah.
like kind of figuring out all this new stuff. I don't know. It's like to me, it was kind of scary, but it's like stimulating at the same time, and that kind of inspired me to create new music as well. Because I think as a musician, like you're totally influenced by your environment, where you're at, where you're living, what kind of things you're doing, like. And after being in Tokyo for a long time, I loved it, but yeah, I needed a change. This last year I moved out to the country and like experienced a different side of Japan.
Yeah.
Which and
New
maybe
inspirations.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Being in nature more often and living out really in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, he totally. My mind changes. What inspires me has changed, and now my music's changing.
Yeah.
And it needs to change. Like as humans, we need to like evolve and
You have
grow.
to keep growing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there is I don't think you can stay the same. You either kind of moving up or you're moving down or you're changing somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to enjoy this delicious food, but before we dive in completely, I want to circle back around to here. We'll make room. We got lots of room. So we were talking about burnout before, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, you and I we've known each other a long time, but we've worked together for a long time as well. And I wanted to kind of share a little story that I don't think I've ever shared with you.
Okay.
So, many years ago, you had you called me, and you were signed with a pretty big label out here. I don't know if it was Columbia or Sony.
Columbia or Universal.
Yeah, okay. And you called me and you said, "That's it. I'm done. I'm burned out. I've hit a wall. I just don't want to do the music industry anymore the way it's been happening. I quit. I'm going to start my own label, and I'm just going to do my own thing so I can be self-inspired." Right?
Yeah.
At that time, you had burned out and needed a change, right?
Yeah.
So you called me, and I don't think most of my viewers have any idea that I'm a photographer too, right? So I kept coming to Japan, and I'd video you, and we'd make videos, and I'd photograph you, and it was kind of our first like business venture together.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
At the time that you had called me, I had also hit major burnout. And I never shared this with you because I didn't want you to think like, oh, he's all washed up. You know what I mean? Because I desperately needed something, right? But I mean, I've been full-time in the fishing industry since 1999, right? So we're talking about 24 years going on. In that span of career, no matter what your career is, there's always going to be this, right? You're going to have these highs, you're going to have these lows, you're going to have these mids, right?
Yeah.
But I was at a point if I'm being totally honest, dude, I was super depressed. Like, I was even semi-suicidal, like thinking just super dark thoughts. Like, fishing just wasn't, fishing is kind of the one constant in my life that always kept me motivated. And I had lost all connection and motivation with it. I just worked too long and too hard, and I was spent, right? And the one trip that you and I went up to Iwate together, and we filmed on the river, and I'm meeting the people, and every break we had, we went to a tackle store, and I just breathed, and I looked at the tackle, and we'd go to another one, I'd look at it, and I just found that all of a sudden I was spending like 6, 7, 8 hours in a tackle store, and they were asking me to leave, like, "Sir, you have to get out of this tackle store. We're trying to close," right? And I totally fell back in love with it again. I fell in love with the creation. I was meeting some friends who were lure designers, and I was seeing the countryside and actually interacting with people outside of my own world. And it's totally changed. Like, it completely changed my life. So
I had no idea that was that.
It's
big
that
of a trip.
personal,
Wow.
right?
Yeah.
So, like, when we talk about JDM Tackle, like, obviously I love some of the brands, right? Like, I love Megabass, I love Lucky Craft, like, I love these brands, right? Because I've known the people for so long, we've used them, right? We like the brands. But when I bring stuff over and I dive into the world of JDM Tackle, it's not just because it's cool or I'm trying to make a buck. Like, it literally, I feel like to a certain extent, it literally saved my path. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I went from being super dark to being light again, and being a better dad, and being a better husband, and being a better business owner, and hired more employees, and brought more stuff, and created a better culture. And so, I wanted to thank you for, bringing me out and having this brother connection. And
Yeah, I think that was a big thing that was, well, for me, that was missing in my life, is that our connection. Like, we used to grow up fishing together all the time. When I moved to Japan, like, that was the thing I lost the most. Is like, we didn't connect for a long time. Like, we hardly ever talked, like, once a year maybe.
Right.
Like, we were just busy. It wasn't like I didn't like you or anything. We just got busy with life, right?
We were busy, and this will date us a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, we might not have even had cell phones back at that time. So
Right?
social media wasn't really a thing then, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it was just kind of starting.
Yeah.
But yeah, distance has this way of really removing you from relationships, and I definitely felt that happened to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that trip, it like reconnected us again.
Yeah.
And like working together in a new way. Like we used to fish together all the time, but we never worked together.
Yeah.
And making those videos and like just traveling around together. Yeah. And then after that, you started coming to Japan more often.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, I hardly ever go to America, but.
I mean, Jeff, if you lived here, how often would you come visit America? Right, look at him. He's never going back. This is a one-way trip for Jeff.
Yeah, he's gonna live in my new apartment.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we just gotta find him a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, we can do that.
Yeah. But anyways, dude, kampai to
Kampai, man.
you and to bringing me along on this journey. And you know, I love coming here so much. This is just so special for me. Obviously, to spend time with you, but to be submerged in the culture and this industry and in Japan fishing is just it's something that's very, very special. So thank you for making it happen for me, even though it wasn't the intended use of my time.
Yeah.
It's been a game changer. So,
Wow. Well, that's amazing to hear, man. Thanks for coming out, dude.
Yeah.
I hope you come out like all the time.
oh, we got to be back for opening day of
River fishing.
river fishing.
March 1st.
So
it is,
yeah,
man.
we got a couple more weeks.
Yeah.
Shall we eat?
Dude, I'm starving.
Yeah, let's dive in. All right, guys, so we're gonna make one more stop before we hit the station. Jeff and I got to get to Osaka, but we got just enough time to hit one of our favorite stores. This is a really cool chain store here in Japan called Tackleberry. So Tackleberry basically specializes in used tackle. And there's one right around the corner from our office in Tokyo,
Yeah.
right? And it's one of those places where it's basically just a treasure hunt. So sometimes you go in and you find nothing, but it's just pegs full of stuff, and you literally have to, every single peg you have to look through. So we're gonna go treasure hunting, see if we find anything really interesting. We'll take you along. Come check it out.
Let's do it.
It even comes with hair. I don't know. If I'm gonna immerse, this is the way it needs to happen. I'm gonna buy this for sure.
That's it?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm pretty much done here. First row, and I already found a gem.
What are you going through right now?
So, this is one of the better tackleberries that I've been
Yeah,
to,
that
but
sounds sick.
literally it's treasure hunting, and there's just stuff crammed on every peg, and so you just have to literally go through bait by bait by bait, and look and see what's there, and maybe something speaks to you. Like,
And this
maybe-
is used tackle, right?
This is all used tackle, but I would say that probably 90% of it looks like it's never been used. So it's
Yeah.
probably been open box, and maybe they collected it and put it in a tackle box but never actually used it. So I mean, the bulk of this stuff, like, yeah, that's used technically, but there's not a drop of water on it, right? So you can get these crazy deals on a lot of stuff, like half price, third price, quarter price. Like, you just found an OG slide swimmer, flash carp, right?
Like, and it was brand spanking.
$20, right? So I just found this gavacho frog for $5. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I found a Blitz Max DR back there for $10. So it's like, you just have to take your time and not be in a hurry and treasure hunt and see what you. Oh, Jake, this would be perfect for your pond. Yeah, I'm gonna buy this for you.
Oh yeah, tiny bullshit.
Tiny bullshooter, $20.
Boom.
Yeah, see, just like that. So it's just a really fun way to spend an hour or 3.
Dude, they close at 8 p.m.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
All right. Okay.
All right.
All right. Get back to it. All right, guys, so we just wrapped up at Tackleberry. we found some amazing things. I mean, probably my #1 find that I've ever seen in a tackle store other than my own. This beautiful bass merce.
It matches your jacket perfectly, dude.
Yeah, well, I'm a color coordinated fashion icon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we found some amazing, like a Pop Max for $10 in a hard to find color. Here, this is yours.
I'm gonna try this one out. That's gonna catch him in my leg.
That looks good. Found a cool Anthrax, brand new PM Regio, $11. So just a really cool place. Like, you know, even though I literally live in a tackle store every day, it's one of those places that I just can't help myself. It's such a treasure hunt. So we spent an hour. Jeff found something, you found something, I found something.
Oh man, you found the treasure of all time.
treasure.
Yeah, this is basically it. So,
When you go out on a date night with Kelly and the kids, are you taking that?
well, of course, this is basically my Gucci. Yeah. This is Bassy. It's better than Gucci. So
Nice.
that's going to be a wrap. Jeff and I got to catch a train to Osaka for the show. So
I got some bass to catch on this guy.
that's
So
right. You got to figure this
good
out
work.
so that we can come back and. Not going to say the name of your lake,
Yeah,
but
please don't.
we're going to
Yeah,
catch some.
keep that a
We're going to
secret,
catch
man.
some giants. But I appreciate you spending the day with us. It's always awesome
Yeah, man.
to see you. So
Famous piano player.
stay tuned. We're hopefully, now that the world is open back up, we can include Jake into more videos. We're going to bring you some authentic Yamame, Amago, Iwana style fishing from this beautiful Yamanashi Prefecture. So we will see you guys soon. We're on our way to Osaka, and we got lots of cool things, the new 2023 stuff to show you. So
And I'm working on a new theme song for the hookup.
Yeah.
let's do it.
Yeah.
New theme
I like
song.
this. All right.
Yeah.
Don't let me down.